Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking a look at EXO-6's take on Mr Spock, as played by Leonard Nimoy in the episode Mirror Mirror from the classic original Star Trek TV show. The review will take the usual format. We'll have a quick look at the box, then we'll be diving down onto the table, check out all the accessories that come with the figure, then it'll be out with the Vulcan himself, onto the stand, onto the turntable for a close-up look, and then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up as we always do with a mini showcase. Bit of background, EXO-6 have had the Star Trek license since about 2021. The company was started by Nanjim Tam, who originally worked for QMX when they had the license. So since around 2021, EXO-6 have been really knocking it out of the park with a wide variety of really high quality 1/6 scale figures from all over the Star Trek universe. Now, I grew up on the original Star Trek. In fact, I was born the year the first episode was ever aired in the United States, giving my age away there. But I'm a huge fan. So much so that I've had to limit myself to the amount of figures I've got in my collection, to the original series and the movies. Otherwise, I would just have a house full of nothing other than EXO-6 Star Trek figures. But that's enough of my childhood. Now, this figure is based on Spock as he appears in the episode Mirror Mirror, as I mentioned, which was the 4th episode in Season 2, originally aired in 1967, and sees a transporter malfunctioning, swapping the captain and his companions with their evil counterparts from a parallel universe, which allows Bill Shatner and the rest of the cast to really ham it up big style. And yes, Star Trek was exploring the multiverse in 1967. There's a thing. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the box. Now, all the Star Trek EXO-6 boxes are relatively similar, but all of the same high quality. Relatively small box. What you've got on the front here is a very nice sort of foil picture of the figure itself. It says EXO-6 at the top, Star Trek, once again in that foil lettering. A foil Starfleet symbol there. You've got some pictures of the original of Shatner and Nimoy there as well. It says Star Trek Mirror Universe. 1/6 scale figure on the side, Starfleet emblem, the original Star Trek series. Around the back, there's continuation of the original cast. Very, very nice picture of the original cast there. Around the back, another picture of the figure. And all the accessories that come with it. There's a list of the contents, and then the usual credits and warnings at the bottom. Don't piss this figure off or it might give you a Vulcan neck pinch. Top is, let's spin this back round. The top has a continuation. It's the same image that's on the side of the box, and the continuation of the foil lettering. Nothing on the bottom there. It's a slipcover design. The figure is already out of this box, but yeah, you've got the transparent plastic front there that displays the figure, but as I say, this one is already out of the box. So what we'll do next is what we always do. We will bring out all the accessories, we'll dive down onto the table and have a look at everything that this Vulcan comes with. Okay, so here we are, down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Mr Spock figure from EXO-6. Not a vast amount to go at here, so we'll whiz through this relatively quickly. We'll start with the hands, as always. You know me and my hands. Let's take a look at the one at random, the quality. There's I believe, 9 hands in total. An unusual number, but yeah, it is what it is. The sculpt itself is very good. It's the usual EXO-6 standards. There's veining in there. There is bone structure. There's creasing in the knuckles. You've got fingernails there, creasing in the palms. Yeah, great paint applications, great sculpting. A variety of hands for a variety of different things. You've got 2-fisted hands, same quality. You've got some gripping hands. You've got what I believe, actually I believe this particular hand is for the Vulcan neck grip. So yeah, you've got that one. You've also got this flat hand, which I believe is designed for the Mirror Universe salute. Yep, so you can pose it that way if you want. But yeah, they're all of the same high quality. Let's do a flexibility test while we're here. These are a soft to medium, erring on the side of soft. So yeah, you can get some good poses with these. As you know, I sort of prefer a softer medium flexibility in my hands. I think there's nothing worse than having rock solid hands that destroy your accessories and have to spend hours futzing around with a hairdryer and hot water. It's just something that, it's just one of those things that grinds my gears. But yeah, those are the hands, so let's put those out the way, and very nice they are too. Let's make a little bit of space. Let's take a quick look at the base. The base is rather nice and rather different. This is sort of standard with all the Star Trek EXO-6 figures. It's this hexagonal base. You've got CBS Studios on the back, all rights reserved. It's all made of plastic. You've got this sort of transporter effect here with a clear plastic top on. Now you can remove this, and that's what this is for. This does come out. Now we'll try and do this on camera. It's not something I do, so forgive me if I get this wrong yet. This section here is clear plastic and simply lifts off, and what's underneath is just a clear plastic design. What you can do is pop this one in like this, and I have never done this, so doing it on camera, this is a first. If I get this right, hey, it's worked. And you can do that, and then by using these, which have never been opened, simply because it's not something I do, it's not a look I go for, but it is possible to do this. You can, there are clips in here, whether the camera's picking that up. You've got some black plastic clips, and they simply slot into these grooves here, and you can link your bases together to create one big transporter pad if you're wanting that look in your display, and if you've got numerous figures. So yeah, nice touch there from EXO-6. Oh yeah, and it comes with a crotch grabber, slightly different than the normal crotch grabber, although it's standard issue up the top here. The way it attaches is it actually, there's a groove at the back there, and you simply slot the crotch grabber in that way. So a slight variant on the idea of a crotch grabber. So that's the stand. We'll put that to one side, and finally the other little bits and pieces that he comes with. What you get is the agonizer. Now for those who don't know the episode, this is the little device that when they push the button causes extreme pain for those on the receiving end. It's very small, it's very simple, it's just grey plastic with a paint application on the top here. But yeah, it's screen accurate, and it does what it is supposed to do. It's a very tiny item, so be careful with that one. Quite easily could disappear. What else do you get? The now legendary phaser from the original series. This is very, very nicely done. The light's catching this. Paint applications are great. The sculpting is accurate. It's got this light blue colour on the body. There are silver highlights on these sort of fins at the end there. The tip of the phaser is painted silver. The handle is black. Very simple but very effective paint applications there, and a very accurate design. And its party piece is that this centre phaser can actually pop out. It's held on by a magnet, as you can see there, and there's another magnet on the inside of the main body of the phaser, so you can have the smaller hand version phaser if you're wanting to pose in with that. So yeah, very nice, just very simple, very accurate, very well painted, and very effective. Yeah, so we'll put that to one side. It also comes with the Mirror Universe dagger that all the characters carry. Pretty much all the characters carry in the in that particular episode. All one piece of sculpted plastic in a plastic sheath, just painted simple silver. There's no real weathering on there. It's just got a simple coat of silver paint on there, but it does the job. And once again, it's screen accurate. The sheath itself, screen accurate again. It's black, it's got that silver design on the front, and it's got a magnet on the back. Now, you probably noticed the magnet in there holding this in, but this also has a magnet in, the phaser has a magnet there in the side, and the knife has a magnet, as does this communicator, because underneath the sash belt of the figure itself are two magnets that we'll take a look at when we bring the figure out. And you can literally attach these without having any visible signs of how they are attached, and it's just a great touch there from EXO-6. The communicator, the now world famous communicator. Now this actually functions. It is tiny, and I'm going to have to get my fingernail under there. I'm going to try and get this into camera so you can see this now. I've got to take my hat off to EXO-6 for the level of detailing here, from the gold grille on the front with the working hinge to the actual buttons that have been individually painted. You've got a yellow, red and blue there. Not sure if the light's picking this up. You've got some silver paintwork on the bottom there. The whole thing closes off very, very well. It is all one piece of sculpted plastic, but it's just very, very well done and very, very accurate. And once again, as I say, it's got that magnet in the back so you can attach it to the figure. So there are the accessories. So what we'll do next is what we always do. Let's bring out Mr. Spock himself. Let's get him onto the turntable and have a close-up look at this guy. Okay, so here he is, Mirror Universe Spock himself. Onto the stand, onto the turntable, and normally at this point I would say straight out of the box and first impressions, but this isn't a brand new figure to me. It's been in the collection a while, but I can recall my initial impressions when I first got this figure out, and they still stand today. The first thing that struck me was the proportions, the quality, the screen accuracy and the head sculpt. But as always, we'll start at the bottom and work our way up and take a close-up look at this guy. Let's stop him from spinning. And we'll start with those boots. Now, those boots, this particular episode of Star Trek, the boots aren't normally this high. They're normally somewhere around here, somewhere around the calf. But for this particular episode, let's bring him into shot a bit more. They went for a different type of boot, and it's almost nearly a thigh-high boot. It's slightly over the knee with this angled cut to it. And they've captured these really, really well, EXO-6. The sculpt is really good. There's no split-cut boot design here, but the actual screen accuracy, it's got a slight Cuban heel to it. I believe the material they've used here is pleather. Now, I mean, with no split-cut boot design and the articulation being what it is, which is very good, but we'll come to that, I would recommend avoiding any extreme poses with this guy. With these being pleather, we don't know how they're going to stand the test of time. I've treated mine with Aerospace 303, which is what I do with all the pleather on all my 1/6 scale figures, but we know what time does to pleather. But they are very screen accurate, very well made. They've got that lovely shine to them. They're all one piece, so as I say, I would recommend any extreme poses, but it's not one of those figures that you go for extreme poses in. He's not going to be doing a superhero landing or anything like that. So yeah, those boots, very, very nice, very, very well done. Let's take a look at this outfit. Now, what strikes me about this outfit, and I know Nanjin Tam is a stickler for screen accuracy. He really is, to matching colours, matching materials, so that they're as close to what was on the screen as possible. And I think they've done, EXO-6 have done a fantastic job here. Now, these pants are, now I'm not sure whether this is what kind of material this is. I'd have to do some research to find out whether it's a man-made fibre or a cotton, but they really, really have captured that sheen to the trousers. Now, it's not overly shiny. It's not as shiny as the actual tunic itself, but it is exceptionally screen accurate. It's got a sheen to it, and very tactile as well. They've got a fantastic feel. They feel almost silk-like. But yeah, the stitch work is excellent, as it is on the tunic itself. They've got all these internal stitchings, so there's no exposed seams. Just very, very well done. The tunic is made out of the same quality material, and it feels very, very nice to the touch, I have to say. The colour, I'm pretty certain is, if not 100%, then 99.9% spot on and screen accurate. As I mentioned, the body underneath is actually very, very good. I believe it's about 30 points of articulation here. I won't demonstrate that with these legs because I simply don't want to overstress the knee areas on these boots. But yeah, the articulation is fantastic. The range of movement is very, very good. It twists at the waist here. The head sculpt is one fixed head sculpt, so there's no swap out head sculpts here, but you've got a decent range of motion in there, so posing is not an issue. As I say, the colour, the stitching on this tunic is great. What really, really catches my eye is this gold edging Once again, screen accurate, but that goes all the way around the collar there. Just very, very well done. The Terran Empire insignias that he's wearing are all plastic and stuck to the tunic itself. Very, very screen accurate. This one's at a slight angle, which is correct and accurate to the episode itself. The length of the tunic in the arms is absolutely right. It falls perfectly. This is turning into a gush fest, and which is a bit inevitable, really, because I'm just in awe of what EXO-6 are doing at the moment with this with the Star Trek IP. They're not putting a foot wrong. I think they're doing some amazing work. If I had to pick one thing, which is a minor niggle, there's probably one thing around the head sculpt which we'll get to. It's this gold sash. Now, the material used in this gold sash, now I don't know how to describe it. It's one of those things you've really got to feel. It's sort of like a nylon speckled with twisted glitter, if that makes sense. Now, I have the Mirror Universe Sulu, which goes with this, which will be up for review shortly on the channel. And you've got to be exceptionally careful with these, because if you put any kind of pressure on this sash at all, it's going to start to flake. Little bits of this gold glitter will come off, which is the last thing you want, because it starts to expose the rather ugly material underneath. So I would say exercise extreme caution when you're posing this figure, that you don't put that sash under any pressure. The last thing you want, as I say, is an exposed ugly material underneath. And possibly they could have used something different there to prevent that from happening. But as I say, a minor niggle there. Also as well, it's probably a good idea to actually demonstrate these magnets that we were talking about in the accessories section. I'll lift his arms up ever so slightly, and we'll bring in a couple of the accessories. We'll bring in the knife and the phaser. And what these do, as mentioned, they've got magnets there. Now, excuse me. Now, what you've got are two black strips here, and they're supposed to give you the general gist of where the magnet is. So if this works on camera, it'll be nothing short of a miracle. But the magnets are quite strong, so yeah. Oh, it worked first time. That's nice to see. So yeah, you can see that the magnet holds the knife in place, and if we are in luck, it will hold the phaser in place as well. Oh, first time. Wow. I can die a happy man now. Something's worked right first time on camera, which is nothing short of a first with this channel. But yeah, you can also attach the phaser as well on one of those sides. Now, I'll have to revisit the episode itself to actually say which side these items go on. If you're a stickler for screen accuracy, then you can actually replicate the actual episode itself by putting them on. But you can mix and match. It all depends on you and how you want to display this figure. But yeah, moving up again, underneath this tunic, there is what I can only describe as a cravat underneath the tunic itself, which is made out of the same material as the pants and the tunic, but is a deep blue, which once again is absolutely screen accurate. So yeah, let's spin him around so you can see the back. Now that's the same quality of stitch work in the back there. You can that gold edging is continued around that collar. It's just simple but incredibly well done. I'll bring him back round. So let's move on to that head sculpt. Let's just take these off, because I'm going to take him off the stand and alter these lights and bring him into camera so we can take a close-up look at this head sculpt. And I have to be really careful with these lights, because sometimes they don't like to cooperate. Let's bring him off the stand and get him into camera now. When I first saw this head sculpt, I thought there was something off. And it wasn't until I'd actually got it in hand that I realised how good it actually is. I know it's a commonly used expression that having it in hand is the only way you can appreciate it, but I think it applies here. The actual level of sculpt here is really, really good from every angle. That's Leonard Nimoy. That's Mr Spock. The detailing, the skin texture is excellent. You've got multiple paint applications there. There's a variation in tone on the skin itself, slightly redder in the cheeks, The eyebrows are done really, really well. There is sort of a, I'm not going to say stippled, but it's not perfectly smooth. And if you're an aficionado of Star Trek, you'll know that Leonard Nimoy's complexion wasn't super smooth. There were imperfections in there, and they've caught those really, really well. The painting on the eyebrows is phenomenal. The ears are proportioned perfectly. The painting on that beard is very good. If I had one complaint about this headset, there is a visible seam across here, which is, it's not a deal breaker, but it would be nice if it wasn't there. And perhaps the paint job on the hair could be slightly better, but they have picked out individual strands. It's shaped and it does look relatively screen accurate, but that would be a minor gripe and in no way a deal breaker. So let's pop him back on the stand and move these lights back round. So there you have it. That is Leonard Nimoy as Mr. Spock in the episode Mirror Mirror from the second season of Star Trek in 6 scale from EXO-6. And yeah, just to wrap this thing up, I have to say, I know I'm repeating myself here, so please bear with an old man, but I've got to take my hat off to EXO-6 for what they're doing with the Star Trek IP. I think it's phenomenal work. Please keep it up. We've got more Star Trek figures coming in, actually, 1/6 scale figures. We're going to be taking a look at the Mirror Universe Sulu. We're going to be doing a review of that very, very soon. We're also going to go a bit retro with the QMX Dr. McCoy. We're going to be taking a look at EXO-6's take on Spock and Kirk from Star Trek the Motion Picture, the 79 motion picture. Also coming in, we've got Krug from The Search for Spock and Savick from Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. So yeah, we've got a lot more EXO-6 stuff coming up and a lot more 1/6 scale figures due into as well. Off the top of my head, we've got the Iconic Studios, Muhammad Ali, Present Toys, Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. Moving scales, we've got the NECA Alien Queen, that's coming in soon. We've also got Prime One Studios and Blitzway's quarter scale statue of Paul Atreides from Dune. All those are coming in, and lots more. And they'll all be mixed in with a lot of retro reviews and a lot of other stuff as well. So if you haven't already, please hit that like button, hit that bell notification icon, hit the subscribe button. It's your subscribers that keep us going. And I'd like to say a huge thank you at this point to everybody who's liked, commented, subscribed to the channel. It's fantastic to see the level of support that we're getting. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, I suppose all that remains for me to say is thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. From me, from Mr. Spock, Leonard Nimoy, happy collecting, and it's over to the mini showcase.